Yellow. Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and I really had to jump onto this one. I created this look with a bit of Mr. Price products that I really wanted to try out, and there was a launch for this like 2 days ago. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was 2 days ago. It just says 2 days ago. Today's Friday, so I think it was on Wednesday. Mr. Price launched a new cosmetics range, beauty range. It's called Scarlet Hill Beauty, or just Scarlet Hill. I'm not sure who Scarlet Hill is. But yeah, they launched a new range and I tested out some products, and you guys are gonna hear my thoughts. I didn't get everything, only because I felt like there were things that I didn't need and that I was not going to make use of. So I'm only going to be talking about the things that I did buy, but a lot of the things that I did buy are like makeup, a majority of the makeup. So I didn't get like every single shade of lipstick or every single shade of lips or lip liner or every eyeshadow palette, but I'm assuming the formulas are the same, and if the formulas are the same, then it shouldn't like be a bit different. And I hope you guys enjoy this video and stay tuned. Okay, so when I saw that Mr. Price was launching makeup, I knew that it had to be affordable, because Mr. Price is the king of affordable. So I went ahead and I'm gonna first start off with their primer. Okay, when I first used this, it was like flaky. I normally use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus primer, which is this one. Ooh. which I absolutely love. And I'm not sure if when I first used the primer, the Mr. Price primer, it was flaky. Now I don't know if it was my skin or whatnot, but normally on my skin I use a shea butter, so I don't know if it was like reacting with it or whatever, but it was flaky and I just wasn't understand what was going on, and I was just like something ain't right. And I thought, okay, you know what, let me not write it off, let me just try it again. So I wiped my face clean with a wipe, and then I put on my vitamin E serum, and after I let it, like, I did my eyeshadow, I let it sit a bit, and then after that I added the primer, and I added less than I had before, and it went okay. Usually with the primer that I use a lot, and before this one, yeah, no, I've actually been using the Wet n Wild one for a while, and I'm really enjoying it. So I normally use like a fair amount of primer. So I think with the Mr. Price one, try not to go ham. I don't know if it was maybe reacting with the shea butter, I'm not sure, because shea butter is also quite thick. I'm not sure if that's what was happening, or because then when I used less, it just worked. So try to use it sparingly. Maybe a little goes a long way, but that's just my opinion on the face primer. And then I went ahead and I purchased Typical Heat eyeshadow palette. This palette really reminds me of the Zulu palette. The colors are very similar, and I guess maybe they wanted something bold. They do have two other two other eyeshadows. One is the nude and one is the smoky. I'm not really a fan of those shades, because I do feel like I have a Morphe palette, so my Morphe palette like covers that range, but The nice thing about this shade is that these eyeshadows is that they are very pigmented. As much as they're pigmented, they do have a lot of fallout, which I don't really have a problem with, as long as the pigment is good, and they showed up like really well. The fallout is tolerable. It's I mean, other eyeshadows have, or maybe it's because the palette is like small. It's a small travel size palette, so it's like a small dish, so maybe that's why I'm able to see the fallout a bit more. I mean, all the other palettes I have do have fallout, but I think because the pans are a bit bigger, you're able to ignore that there's a bit of fallout, you know, and it's just concentrated because the dish is small. I think that's the only reason why I feel like it's got a lot of fallout. And then we are going to move on to the contour palette. The contour palette is also quite nice. To be honest with you, it's a contour and glow palette. I love the highlighters. The highlighters are popping, they're nice. They've got 3 different shades, so I think there's light, medium, and dark. Obviously I picked one that caters to my complexion, which I also like, is because they're not just dropping a contour palette, and a contour palette doesn't suit every like shade, so I like the fact that they came out with different complexion shades for the contour and highlight, because not every highlight suits like fair skin or darker skin, so I like that. And they also have a blush palette which I did not purchase because I don't really like blush, and I'm not really a fan of blush. Plus I wasn't really liking the color. I liked using an orange blush, and a lot of them were a lot of pinky undertone, not pinky undertones, it was like pinky shadows, which also again they have 3 to sort of accommodate a large range of shades. Going back to the contour palette, I don't like powder contour. I prefer cream contours or whatever. I prefer to use a foundation stick that's slightly darker or darker than my shade, preferably. I feel like it's easier to blend out and it's not as harsh on my skin. So I don't know, like, you know. Next up are these sponges. This one is the one that I used. What I will say is that they're usable, but compared to my Real Technique sponge, it's not as soft, but I really like them. I do like them, but it's not going to be my go-to sponge. The Real Techniques one is nice and soft. These ones do feel a bit hard, but for a price point of $40, you get what you pay for. And it's not that they're bad, but I've used better. Let me just say that I've used better, which is this one, the orange one. It's dirty. Sorry, this one is extremely soft, and it just like, it works magic. And I love the shades as well. They've got a different shade. I think they've got an orange one with like lighter whatever, but I like the blues and the pink. I think they look really cool. Up next is the BB cream. I bought the BB cream, but I didn't want to use it because I felt like the look that I was gonna go for, which is this pink, is gonna be a bit much with a BB cream. Now, if you don't know what a BB cream is, a BB cream is basically a tinted moisturizer. So it's not as full coverage as a foundation. So if you're someone who has issues with acne or pimples and you want to cover that up, this is not going to do that. It just helps to like conceal and give you like a bit of a glow, but it's not something that I would recommend if you've got skin problems and you want to cover up. This does not do that. But I also think I understand why they launched BB cream instead of foundation. I think it was just to help cover a range of complexions, because obviously coming up with foundations does take time, and considering undertones and all those things, you need to be like spot on. Also with the BB cream, you don't really like go ham, like you don't go ham like you would with foundation and just blend it out. You just use a little, because this is not really for full coverage. And the other thing is that I got a lipstick. I really love this lipstick. It's a matte lipstick. It's the one that I'm wearing, but I did mix it with an Essence lip liner. When I got there, the lip liners they had were not like, they didn't have the shades of lip liners that I wanted, because a lot of the stuff was a bit like sold out. So that is everything that I was able to get my hands on. They do have a lot more. They've got like masks, face masks that they have. They have like headbands for when you want to do like your makeup, like the ones you put on to wigs. They also have they have a lot of things. They have like eyelash curlers. They have a ton of stuff. They really do. I didn't want to buy all that stuff because I mean, I don't need them and I won't use them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful. Comment below if you've bought some of the products and let me know which product you like best. And I really think this is a nice brand for people who want to start experimenting with makeup and get comfortable, and that once they're comfortable they can venture to buying other brands as well. So you just use this to practice. And yeah, so I would like to see them come out with eyebrow products, and to see how that goes, I used my Benefit Brow. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to comment. I will appreciate the support, and thank you for everyone that's been subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.